Run, fool, run. See, she tightened her bandana. She will cut you. You better run. Are you good? If not, let's get good. I'm good, and this is a good look at Renowned Explorers International Society. So I don't really know how to explain what this game is. It's kind of an adventure game, but it's also kind of got some 4X elements in it. So what we're going to do is just dive in, and I'm going to show you guys stuff, and then I'll explain some of the 4X elements once we finish our first adventure. So we're going to use adventure mode, which is basically like hardcore mode. Essentially, if you lose in this mode, you don't get to reload, you just die and have to start over. We're going to start by selecting our captain, and I am going to pick Harry Walker because I like the fact that he looks like a beatnik. Now, they recommend that when you pick Harry, you pick a team of Charles and Bia, so that's probably what I'm going to do just to keep things simple. There we go, so we've got Charles as our backup and Bia as our second backup. Now, when we have Harry as a captain, we get an additional 100% gold from treasure hunts. Each of these guys, you'll notice, also has levels down here. We've got 2 levels of Rogue with Harry, we've got a level of Diplomat and Survivalist with Charles, and with Bia, we've got a level or 2 levels of Tactician. Those come into play during our adventure, and you'll see that as we get going. I love it. Look at that intrepid team. The beatnik, the gentleman, and the samurai. Okay, we're loading in. This is it. You've got your Renowned Explorers International Society membership. Harry wants to make a big entrance and wants to investigate a mystic appearance, a druidic stone circle. Rumor has it that Celtic druids set up a sect here a long time ago. I don't know why I say Celtic, that's something I commonly mispronounce. I apologize for that. Okay, so everyone's really nervous because it's our first adventure, so we only get 2 resolve. Resolve go away when you fail certain challenges, and also when characters get knocked out in a confrontation. When you run out of resolve, you lose. So we've got 2, so we can't really have people die in confrontations, or we're gonna have a problem. So if we come over here, we can get status gold and there's an encounter. If we come down here, we can get gold and research. The one that it's showing right there is how many supplies it takes. We have 7. That means we can essentially move 7 times on this map before we run out of food. Once we run out of food, our guys start to suffer penalties. So we basically want to maximize the usage of those points. Okay, so we came here. What an amazing place. The nature here remained untouched. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we can focus on research to get 3 study, we can focus on mining to get 3 of the yellow ones, I can't remember what they're called. Or we can spend 2 supplies and do both. Ooh, that's tempting. But I think we're just gonna get 3 collects. Yeah, that's what they're called, is collects. These are the ones that I believe get doubled by our current captain, which is awesome. We can come out here and do nature. I think we're gonna come over to this side and do nature and then come down here. I'm avoiding this encounter because encounters take a little while and I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time on that. What a fascinating sight. Okay, so we've seen a white stag. The stories to come from it will impress. We get 2 study and 2 campaign. Now all of these things at the end of this expedition, provided we're successful, will generate resources that we can use for the more 4X-y side of the whole thing. Now if we come down here, we don't get anything, which makes it kind of pointless, so we're going to come over here. And what are we going to get? What a weird place. The ground is getting increasingly soft and the air starts to smell foul. Let's investigate further. While we're looking around, we see fossilized remains. We can just excavate the safe areas, or we can have our guys take a spin of the adventure wheel and possibly come up with something else. Ooh, we'll lose a resolve and supplies if we fail this, though, which makes it really, really risky. Especially with a 32% chance of success. I think we're just going to excavate the safe areas for this. Normally this would take longer, but the soft ground makes it easier. After a mere hours of work, the crew finds something. Okay? What do we... Oh, wow. So we got our first treasure. This is an ammonite fossil. It gives us 8 study as soon as we get it. Now, a lot of the treasures, it also gives us 25 renown and 1 insight. You'll see what that does when we get done with this expedition. A lot of the treasures have lasting effects, so instead of just giving an 8 study like this does, they do other things that last for as long as you have them, which is kind of cool. But that 8 study is huge. That's going to be really helpful when we go back. We have 4 supplies. Let's pop up here, because we've got a couple challenges here. It's the white stag again. Awesome. Do we go after it? We'll lose 2 supplies. Oh, I'm not sure where we are on the map. I think we're further than 1 away, so we don't really want to risk losing those supplies. But the advantage is 3 studies, collect samples and make up a story, 1 study and 1 campaign. Yeah, that's not worth it. With a 55% chance, it really isn't worth it. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that and get a study and a campaign. Now we can come over here for an encounter, we can come down here for some more research. I think that's the more prudent decision, to come down here, so we'll do that. And what do we got? The crew arrives at a clearing in the forest, we get some research, 1 study, we can come over here for 0, so we're gonna do that because why wouldn't we? Sometimes you find a natural phenomenon that's worth researching, so for 24% chance, if we fail we'll lose a resolve. Once again, I'm not super happy about that possibility. I'm just going to inspect the phenomenon. Losing resolve in the first mission is really, really dangerous. We can come down here and get some more supplies. That will let us keep looking around. We got 3 supplies out of that. Awesome, so we can keep going. There is something odd here. There's also research and a cultural challenge, so let's go check that out. The crew finds ancient Celtic holy grounds. I pronounced it right. A very interesting find, as there isn't much known about ancient Celtic mythology yet. Something worth investigating. Okay, let's take a look. There are runes with rituals described to honor Cernunnos, the horned god. You learn a lot by observing. Oh, we've got to risk a resolve for all of these. Why are they all resolve risks? I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. I've lost resolve on one of those before, and it's caused me to completely wipe out the expedition, so it's not worth it. The crew starts investigating and finds broken Celtic pottery. Some are useful for investigation, and others will net you some coin. Okay, we have 2 left. I think we come up here? Yeah, let's come up here and get some more research, and then we'll head into the final destination. The crew hears the rambling of another person in the woods. Okay. It's a university student. She's startled by your sudden appearance, but impressed by your renowned explorer's membership. I'm looking for antiquities of Celtic cultures, but I'm interested in all history, Egyptian, Carib, you name it. Maybe I could travel with you and help with the research? What a great idea. Oh, awesome. So she's part of our entourage now, so she adds her papers to your research and goes to the airship. We get 2 studies and we have a student in our entourage. I will show you what the entourage is once we finish this first expedition. So we are down to our final supplies, time to go for the biggin. The Druidic Circle must be somewhere around. Once you get there, this expedition will come to an end. You can come back, blah blah blah, we're gonna go onwards. That's just telling us that if we do this, this is the last thing. We find a standing stone circle, however you hear a familiar laughter. Behind you stands the French explorer Riveluax, who is considered to be the most promising of the renowned explorers. He got here just before you did. Thank you, amateur. Under Rule 24B of the Explorer Mandate, fellow explorers should help each other out. And I really need to take the main men here to impress a lady. No. Oh, please, explorer, we both know that the treasure is better off in my hands. Allow my sharp companion Amir Akhtar to explain it to you in clearer words while I take the menhir. So he's gonna steal the treasure while we fight this guy? What's your problem, my friend? Goodness me, there's no need to yell. Okay, so we're gonna fight this guy. This is a 2-star encounter. Now, as this loads, we're gonna see some of the other interesting game mechanics. Defeat the boss. We can complete this by being friendly, devious, or aggressive. That is based on the number of actions we take of each type, and they have different outcomes. So if we complete it by being friendly, Amir will think we're weak. If we complete it by being aggressive, he'll be mildly impressed, and if we complete it by being devious, he will be he'll admire us for our sharpness. So let's do that, because typically if you get that one, you'll get a really nice reward at the end. Okay, so see these areas that are yellow? Those are healing areas, so if we stay in those, we get sort of an advantage because our guys will heal up every turn. And now we're going to start, and we're going to start by being devious as possible. So we're going to insult him, and that'll kill him. It also made him enraged. Enraged gives them minus 25 armor. Now we've made the situation tense because of our actions, so we get... This is a really, really complicated system. See how it's got 3 over here for aggressive and 3 for friendly? If you do 3 of those actions, you'll change the entire mood of the encounter, and that'll give different bonuses. So right now, friendly abilities are plus 25% power, which is kind of useless to us. We don't really care that much about friendly abilities. So we'll bring Charles up here because Charles is sort of our tanky guy, and we'll have him use his devious attack to take this guy out. Yeah, throw that glove at him, Charles. That's right. He is absolutely terrified of Charles and runs like a little scaredy cat. And then we also have Bia to work with, so we'll send her up here, and let's terrify the crap out of this guy. Run, fool, run. See, she tightened her bandana. She will cut you. You better run. Good job. Run away. Okay, so now we're gonna end the turn. Now you'll notice they start off with a lot more guys on their team, and that's pretty common, and that's the reason why I didn't want to risk our resolve, because there's a pretty good chance that, yeah, Bia's probably gonna get knocked out right here. Nope, he fumbled. Awesome. Okay, these guys are coming up behind us. Now, here's the trick to this. We only have to beat this guy, but there's a pretty good chance if these guys continue to sneak up on us that they will kick the crap out of us, so we have to kind of be careful about that. Now, I might be able to, yeah, I could pot shot one of these guys with an aggressive action to take him out with, yeah, let's do that. We'll take him out. Bam, there he goes, he's out. You'll notice the aggressive bar fills up a little bit, that's fine, we just don't want to fill it more than the devious bar. Now she's hurt, and I'm not super good at healing in this game, but we're gonna give it a shot. So I'm gonna run her back, and I'm gonna have our friend here use his impress ability, which gives her back 12 health, which is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted from this. And now let's see what happens with them. If Amir can reach us, he's obviously gonna strike out, yeah. Okay, wow, he fumbled, but he was yelling profanities or something. He was yelling explosives and maces. Oh, wow, that hurt. That was not exactly ideal, and if he cracks her right here, we're in trouble. Thankfully, he went after Charles. Good, Charles. Keep taking those hits. Okay, so we'll have Bia take this guy out pretty much instantly. After this turn, we should have a 3-to-1 advantage, which puts us in a pretty solid place. And that's what we want. We really want to have that advantage because, as you can see, the boss guy hits really hard. He almost killed Bia on his own. So we're going to use Charles's ability here, and hopefully it will get this guy angry enough that he comes after Charles. Ha 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 ha. Oh, we depressed him. Or terrified him, whichever one that is. I think it's terrified. See those squiggly lines? That means he's stunned. So he won't get to do anything on this turn, and... Oh, wait, he can run. He just can't wait. What? How does he get to fight when he's terrified? When we're terrified, I can't fight. Whatever, cheating game. Okay. We're gonna kick his butt now. Let's go ahead and terrify him again. Get him, Charles, get him. Throw that glove at him. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Okay, now Bia is up. I'm gonna look at the damage. Yeah, she does a lot more damage if we go aggressive with her, so we're gonna go aggressive for one attack just to get him oh, to kill him instantly, but we were still more devious than aggressive. So we did get the devious result that we wanted. Amir admires your sharpness. We got 2 encounter tokens, and because we completed this deviously, we get the bonus from Harry, which gives us +5 grit and +2 speech power for the rest of the expedition, I think. Amir's tone suddenly changes. Those who know how to hurt with words are truly mighty. I'd like to pay tribute to you with some research papers. Good luck, my friend. Okay, so he gave us some research papers. Awesome. A druid pops out of the forest. Amazing, I saw how you handled that encounter just now, defeating a foe with insults and manipulation. A remarkable skill. I'm honored that someone like you is looking for our history. Allow me to help you with a divination. Please tell me what is the dream you have to chase. Oh, wow, okay. To become the most famous and respected explorer, to be a wealthy and successful adventurer, to make an amazing contribution to the sciences by exploring the world. Let's become famous and respected. Ah, fame, of course. I know a Celtic burial site with items to bedazzle the world. The druid leads the crew and suddenly stops to tell the crew to start digging. The crew finds popular truffles and a unique treasure. Okay, so we got 3 campaign tokens and a Celtic leaf. Oh, I thought it was going to be like a 4-leaf clover. That would have been cool. But this is still cool. We get 25 renown and an insight, and we get 4 study and 4 campaign for finding it. That is wonderful. Wow, we got a ton of study. Back to London we go. Okay, so we have completed the exploration of the Highlands, and we completed it with a devious demeanor. Because of that, we've built up a reputation of being devious, which I have no problem with. And we didn't get very much gold. We got a ton of status, we got a ton of research, I think, like ridiculously large amounts of research. And we got some decent renown. So we come back here, we are ranked number 9 with 135 renown, and Rivelu is at 2,000 renown, and we are a sly scholar. I love it. Okay. A magnificent job. Because we did so well, they're going to increase our supply count by 2. Oh, 3, which takes us up to 10. That'll make it easier to explore more. And the society has many leads, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we've completed the expedition. Now we can spend our research for technologies, we can exchange insight for other resources, we can spend status to acquire an entourage, and we can spend gold in shops. And we can beat that French clown Rivelu. I love it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do that. It's got a guide up here that we can use if we're not sure about what we're doing, but I've got a pretty good idea. So we have 146 research, which is like more than I've ever had before. Now we could come into preparation if we wanted to get some extra insight, and this is what it's really about right here, is some extra supplies. Now normally that's a very appealing option, but I'm going to go with Chronicles because the first one there gives us an extra 2 resolve, which is much more valuable. We can get plus 25% gold and status from encounters, that's kind of nice. You can choose one emotion that will have a strong effect. Exploit emotions, interesting. Ooh. Opponent gains 15% miss chance when we enrage. Opponent gains minus 25% armor when we terrify. Wow, this is really good. I think we'll go with the enraged, but we've only, yeah, we'll go with the enraged. And I'll show you why we're choosing the enraged upgrade in a second. We don't have enough to get anything else. Okay, that's fine. We're pretty close though, so if we do some jobs with our insight points for research, we can probably grab this one, which isn't terrible. That one's good too. That actually reminds me very much of the policy system in Civ 5. Very similar in the way that it works. Like once we complete this whole thing, we will gain plus 50% stat gains from perks. When it says stat gains from perks, what it means, if we can look in here, yes we can, is these. So she is a tactician level 2, which means she has gorilla and offense. Those are her 2 perks. And for each perk, she gets plus 1 attack and plus 3 armor. Now what that would do is give us additional points there. Nobody leveled up, that's sad. When they level up, you can pick a new perk upgrade, which sometimes unlocks a new class. Like in the case of Harry, we could get Beguile or Storytelling, which would give us a whole new like subclass thing, which would make it so that we could complete more challenges when we're out adventuring, which is kind of awesome. We've got 3 insight points. We can spend those down here to generate more tokens of whichever type we so desire. I think we're gonna go for gold because we didn't get very much of it and we kind of need some. We'll have Harry perform that job. It'll cost 1 insight and it'll net us 2 of these gold tokens, which will get us up to 100 gold. Let's just keep going with that because we really need a little bit more gold to get going good. Okay, we've got that. So now we will come down here. We can spend our renown to pick up different entourage. This is the student that we found, although she was a female when we found her, and apparently she's turned into a man. That's interesting. We can come over here and we can hire specialists. Specialists are really great because they do specific stuff when you do specific stuff, and they're usually more powerful than just a basic helper. Like this one gives plus 1 to 3 status from each campaign you have. Over here though, you gain extra tokens whenever you complete things in a certain way. So we can get an extra collect token if we resolve a counter as devious, which I kind of like, so we'll grab Shark, the Super Sewer. I love it, the Super Sewer, that's great. And then we'll come down and we'll use an insight real quick to gain research. We can't, we burned all of them. Oops, I was gonna use it to get one more research thing, but that's not gonna happen. We can come over here with our gold and we can start buying gear. Now there's some interesting things to take into consideration here. For 100 gold, we can get one of these items. This one is really good because it resists damage from terrified speech attacks, and it also gives the engineer perk to someone, which means that we can complete more challenges. The compass gives survivalist, but Charles Tempton already has that. Yeah, see, he's already a survivalist too. Or he's a survivalist 1, that's showing what his level would be after we equip this. Same with this over here. Nobody is an engineer, so what we'll do is we'll take the monkey wrench and we'll give it to Harry. Now, if we check Harry afterwards, we will see that Harry is in fact an engineer now. We've got enough to buy something here. I'm gonna grab the decent boots, which are used for Harry to give him plus 10 grit. Grit is what you use for evading, and Harry is one of our squishiest characters, so having some extra evasion on him should help significantly. And then we will come back, and now if we come look at Harry, if it will let us look at... what the heck? Why can we not look at Harry? You let us look at Harry earlier. Oh, it's because we're zoomed in on that? There we go, we'll back out, and then... yeah, now we can look at Harry. And it's weird, it's not showing the engineer perk, but he does have it. Anyways, so that's basically the way the game works. After that, we just basically come up here and choose another expedition and dive right in. The goal, of course, is to climb the ladder in the rankings so that we can beat Matthew Riveluax. Anyways, guys, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed the game or you'd like to see a series on it, go ahead and leave something in the comments. Thank you for watching, and please game responsibly.